Okay, and
I
now
I
I'm
didn't know you were
recording.
Russian, by the way.
Huh?
I totally thought you were from Mexico for some reason.
I don't know. I'm from Russia.
Cool.
I had like two people contacting me today and telling me
Yeah.
to be careful because Russian government wants to block the internet.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I saw that. What's
I'm
all
pretty
that about? Are
sure.
they trying to go like China with it?
Yeah, they really want to go China like like
Oh man.
China, but they can't really do it because China has, like as far as I know, only like two cables that go inside the country, and we have
Uh-huh.
several hundreds of them, so they can't really control that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they will do it. Mm, I'm pretty sure they will not even like actually do it. Like they want to do it, but they can't. They don't have the technical like abilities to do it.
Right.
All right. My name's Ratcha. This is Ratcha's podcast, and today I have Carrot with me. Say hi.
That's me. Hi.
All right. Yeah. For those who don't know Carrot, he is a furry artist on Furaffinity and other sites, and he is also working on the game The Forest of Love. And can you tell a little about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Where like just art wise and whatever?
Um, like where do you live? How did you come into fandom?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm in Colorado, which is in America land. So I'm an America man from America land. Wow.
America.
Yeah, it's all right here. It's getting cold now, so that sucks, but it is what it is.
Do you have snow there?
I got yeah, it snowed quite a bit actually. But
Nice.
it's been warm the past couple days, so it's getting all melty. Um, that sucks because shoveling, that's no fun. You guys get a lot of snow, right?
Yeah, but we have like almost everywhere we have centralized shoveling. Like large trucks in the cities do it.
Yeah, but like driveways and stuff? Or do you guys have
Uh,
driveways? Is it
no.
like city living apartment?
Yeah, I live in the apartment, so we have
Oh, okay,
like
yeah, perfect. So
yeah,
you don't have to deal with that shit.
yeah. My parents
That's
have
the
to.
way to go, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, when I was apartment living, like I really like not having to do a lot of the normal like responsibilities of owning a house. Cause like I guess I'm lazy one, but like two, I don't have time for shit. And so it's like, man, I gotta shovel the snow. This sucks.
That's
But
so nice to live in the house.
yeah. Or in an apartment? Or do you mean
Yeah, I mean,
like
yeah,
depending?
to live in the house compared to living in the apartment because
Ah,
apartment is
okay.
like usually much smaller and then like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is the trade-off, right? It's like
Mhm.
cool, you get the freedom, you can like play music really loud if you want to, whatever. But you gotta take care of it, and it's a lot to take care of.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be a homeowner, I guess. I guess I'm the kind of person who would rather like pay someone, you know?
Yeah.
Be like, you take care of my lawn, you fucking wipe my ass, thank you. You know, all that stuff.
It's probably not even that expensive.
It is here in California. It's like a lot cheaper because like everyone does it. So, but
Interesting.
here, yeah,
Hmm.
it's less common. People are, I guess, they're less lazy.
I thought
uh,
California is like way more expensive in every aspect.
yeah, it's way more expensive in every aspect except like cheap labor like that.
Hmm.
Probably also due to like maybe illegal immigrants and maybe stuff like that. I don't know. But you know, jobs like that you could find for like pretty dang cheap.
Oh
But
yeah.
then obviously cost of living is super high and you know whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And you've been living in California, right? I think like a year
No,
ago.
I'm in Colorado. I'm in Colorado now, but I was in
Yeah.
California a while ago. I was in the like LA area.
Were you studying there?
No, I went to school for 2D animation in Colorado, and then when I graduated there, me and my friends were like, "Yo, let's go to California to do the animation life," and then we went, and I was doing a bunch of freelance stuff, so I was like, okay, whatever. I guess I don't need to be here paying out the nose. Which I should have tried. I didn't actually even like apply to any studios or anything, but one of the first, like I went to California twice, and the first time I was doing an internship at Nickelodeon, which was cool. But then a second time was when we were like gonna go out there on our own and like try to do stuff. But yeah. So
yeah.
California's cool. I kind of want to go back, but it's also a huge pain in the ass. So I don't know. It's a love-hate thing.
All right. And back to the question, like, how did you come into the furry fandom? How long have you been there?
Yeah, so it actually got me into art in the first place. So I've been drawing for 12 years now, 12 and a half-ish. And I got water, hold on. And yeah, so like the furry stuff actually got me into art in the first place. I think back in the day when I was a little shitling, I was just looking at like a hentai porn, whatever, like some square. And I found like cat girls, like some weeb. And then I'm half Japanese, by the way, so I'm half weeb, 100%. But yeah, and then yeah, I remember seeing like a couple pictures that I was like, interesting. This is interesting. Right? Like there was one with like a cat girl that was getting licked by like just cats, normal cats. And I was like, that's cool. I don't know why, but I like that. And then later on, I saw like this 4chan gif of like a Pikachu getting like bukkakied on, like by a bunch of dicks. And I was like, that's interesting too. Interesting. And then later on in my own private sessions of viewing, I was like, dude, these are dope. And then yeah, I was looking around for more of that Pokemon porn. And then yeah, so I found For Affinity, and I saw one of the first pieces that like really inspired me and like I guess turned me on to this whole thing in general and by thing I mean art, was a Pikachu from Insomniac Overlord. Do you know the guy?
No, I don't think I've heard of him.
Okay, he's a super popular Pokemon artist. He's been making stuff all the time. He's doing a lot of comics and stuff. Cool guy. Shout out to my boy. But yeah,
give me a link after the thing.
Yeah, totally. Let me do it on the side, anyways. Yeah, he had this picture of a Pikachu like leaning in for a kiss, and like that's it. And like the background was like this heart, and it's like this super cute, like corny thing, and it's adorable and awesome. And I was like, wow, I love that. And like I actually like was enamored with it. I just love the shit out of it. And I never really felt like that strong of like a appeal toward like anything. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is just like a drawing and it's like this strong. So what the fuck is going on, right? So yeah, it's kind of like, yo, art is real strong. I need to figure this shit out like ASAP. And then and inflict, damage to other unsuspecting people. So, yeah,
Did you just start like drawing and trying to replicate this like thing, like this feeling of like awesomeness and coolness of furries?
Right. Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, okay, yeah, I need to learn. And so I started a bunch of Pokemon way back in the day. Because they're like simple and like more manageable to like wrap my head around.
It was Sonic.
And I liked Pokemon a lot.
Also
oh yeah, Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic.
Nice.
I'm a Sonic guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I could kind of see it. I could see it.
Sonic, cool. I've been like really inspired by Sonic comics, and I've been copying like artwork from Archie comics, the Sonic ones.
Oh yeah.
And it influenced my art style a lot.
Cool. That's good to have those core inspirations.
Yeah, I still have my
when I was
really
a kid,
old drawings.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
keep them
keep
around
them.
too.
They
It's
are
good
so
to see.
cringy. But it's so
No,
fun
I
to
think it's
look at
cool, you
them.
know. Yeah, it's awesome to be like, yo, this is where I was,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I don't know about you, but do you still remember drawing them?
Yeah, some of them I do.
Yeah, yeah, I've got that too. It's like when you see it, it
Uh-huh.
like actually takes you back.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, I
You
remember
can
listening
like,
to music. I remember struggling on this one part. Oh my gosh, you know.
yeah. And the music
So
has
that's
been
cool.
you've been listening to, and I remember I've been showing it to my friends, and they were like, "Look at how cool is this?" And they're like, "What the fuck is this?" Okay, yeah, I guess this is cool. The drunks were really bad.
Don't be hard on your past self. Of
Yeah,
course they're gonna be bad.
yeah, sure. Everyone's
It's
bad
like
in the
looking at
beginning.
baby photos and being like, "Look at me not walking. What a noob." Like, yeah, of course you're a baby.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but yeah,
you've been,
that stuff's really good.
yeah. And have you been drawing for like all those like 11 years?
Yeah, actually, so 12 and a half years ago is when I started drawing, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like a casual, oh, I'm just gonna draw. It was like every day after school, I would be working on something. I'd like push myself to like learn backgrounds and do all this other stuff and like have fun with it. And like that was the first 2 years ish.
Mm-hmm. Did you have like
Around maybe the second.
a project
What's
you
up?
worked on, or just drawing
No, I just
something?
yeah, I just drew a bunch of Pokemon.
Oh, right.
So like they're on my FA. Like all the first drawings I ever did are
Uh-huh.
on my OG FA, not my normal FA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause but yeah, it was just like it was just drawn for fun. Like I had an idea and I tried it out and it was cool. And that was that. And like again, each drawing I would do would like kind of challenge or push me in some other way. So I guess in the long scheme of things, it was kind of like a project, the learning art project, but not consciously, right? I wasn't cognitively doing that. Um, but yeah, it was cool. It was weird, really weird because like as a kid, I'd never really like cared for art. Like I didn't really draw. I didn't really like I liked movies and shows, but like not for the same reason.
Just
I
like
loved video games all the time, but again, not
cartoons.
for the same reason. Yeah, like I liked cartoons just because they're entertaining. I watched a lot of like Ed and Eddie and stuff like that. Cartoon Network things.
Hmm.
Pokemon it was back when it was cool, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So a lot of Disney, Disney
Yeah.
movies and stuff. So like I
Disney's pretty
liked
cool.
art, art and animation, but I never drew, and I never I couldn't look at a painting and like appreciate it. Like there was no point.
Mm-hmm.
But I love video games, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Why
another
did
kind of
you go
consistent thing.
study animation and not video game design then?
Well, okay, so during those first founding years of like art, I was like, cool, art's amazing, awesome, that's what I want to do. And then, I guess around the third year is when it really solidified. I was like, kind of not sure if I was going to pursue art or maybe the trumpet because I used to play that a lot,
Hmm.
or maybe I was going to be an engineer or something because that was what my dad was, and I always like got placed in decently high math, but I always sucked at math. So it was like, this sucks. But yeah, so I didn't really know exactly what I was gonna do, but I did like art, but I didn't like there was no financial options at the time and like I wasn't good at it, so I didn't even like consider it. But then yeah, my high school year or my senior year, I got like my ass kicked in math, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And then I went full ham on art. Um, yeah, it was super funny because it was one of those like I studied the shit out of like the material like 2 days before a test, all day those 2 days, and then I
For
was
only two
like, I
days?
felt good. I felt comfortable. I was like, cool, I'm gonna kick this thing's ass. Like, I'm actually ready for this test. And then I got like, I think a 52% after a 10% curve, which was like bizarre because like I went in knowing that I was gonna do well, and then I took the test and I felt good too. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, I got fucked. I was like, cool, like that's at least a C, maybe more, right? Maybe a B. And no, I got so fucked. And it's like, oh my god, fuck this. Yeah, it was super funny. I was in like a dumb calculus like advanced course because I did it for my friends. They were all in it, and I was like, God damn it. Okay, fine. And then like, ugh, it sucked. But yeah, after that, I took a Adobe Flash class in my high school. I was in Drawing 2 class. I took an Adobe Illustrator class, which they're mainly about the program and not about art, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also took some college courses at the same time, one for Flash and then one for Cinema 4D. Um, so that was
Cinema,
really cool because
I've
like
never even heard of that.
Cinema 4D is a like kind of older industry 3D program.
Ah.
It's kind of, I think, from what I hear, more about like products and stuff um, rather than like animation or modeling and stuff. So, or character modeling rather. But yeah, so that was a sweet ass senior year. I had like 4 or maybe even just 3 classes that were actually in my school, and then the other 2 I took like in a college, and then I had a ton of free periods, so it was super fun. And then I got a laptop that had a screen on it in that year too, so I could draw digitally, and that was like the first thing I ever had that like I could draw on the screen. And
Nice.
yeah, basically every day I was like doing something on that laptop, but it was awesome. Um, but yeah, around that time, that's when I was like, okay, actually, I'm really running with art at this point. Like I took the classes and that was super fun, and I feel like there's gonna be so much shit. Like I knew that I loved art. I knew that there was a million things I wasn't aware of when it comes to art,
Uh-huh.
and I knew that like I could pick it up, and it was super fun to learn. So by that time, I was like, okay, I need to pursue this. Like this is, I think, what I want to do. Um, and yeah, so in the beginning, I wanted to just like do maybe concept art and stuff. So paintings, character design, environment stuff, props and whatnot. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do like, but oh, sorry, I wanted to do concept art, but I wanted to do it for like animation or something. So stuff like Pixar or Disney
Oh,
films.
yeah.
And so with that in mind, I was like, okay, I think I want to do animation, but also I know this is a lot of illustration. So I actually double majored. I went to school for animation and illustration. And the illustration was like a minor though, because like mainly animation was the focus. And then actually 3 years in, I dropped the illustration like side focus.
Mm-hmm.
Just because at that point I kind of saw that like for the most part animation was teaching me stuff like story, character acting, motion, like how to get actual like life in your drawings, stuff that seemed more important than in the illustration track is kind of more about like the mediums, the expertise of it all, learning like, or not learning but mastering human anatomy, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of like really scholarly stuff that would help me now, and actually I've been pursuing much more now than when I was in college, but it wasn't like the core stuff that I thought was important in art. So I ended up being like, yeah, whatever, fuck illustration. It was a great course. It was awesome. I learned so much in the like 6 classes or 7 or 8 that I took. Definitely helped me be on my road now. But yeah, it was also like, yeah, whatever.
I see.
But yeah, then so I went for animation, and then yeah, I learned how to animate and stuff. The whole time I was never really like I loved games, but I didn't think I would be working in games or anything like that. But after college, all the professional work I did do was technically for games. It was animation or illustration, but in the game field. And so, yeah.
Can you tell a little more about like what games you worked for?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't anything big. It was like just failed projects on like the indie projects that people are trying to make for a phone or something. So there was like one like what's that one game? Kind of like Candy Crush. There's like a bug game that like it's like a Connect game, and then things like level up, and it's also like an RPG. The new How to Train Your Dragon app game is a similar formula. So whatever, just a lot of people like see a formula that works and they're like, I'm gonna make a game, and then
Yeah.
it's stupid and it sucks, and then they pay people like me, and I was like, sure. And then it was dumb because I was like being more of a consultant for their stupid game, and then like, because I'm like, dude, this is, you really want to do the same exact thing? Like, what about this? What about this? Whatever. And this happened a few times where I was just like, I ended up being more of a consultant that I wasn't getting paid for, and at the end of the day, they wouldn't listen anyways because they would just want to create their stupid, like, hacky knockoff game. And I was like, dude, y'all dumb. So, yo, Forest doesn't have 2 R's, right? No. Okay, good.
What?
You know when you like are working on lettering and words for so dang long, and then you forget if it looks right or not? I'm streaming right now, so I'm working on like
All right.
possible new title cards for the game. Let me link this to you. If you, I don't know if you could also watch streams and then record
No.
and stuff.
I mean, I
Okay.
can, but it will, I think, distract me because the stream is later than the text, the voice.
That's true. Yeah,
But
I won't be like
I can watch the
referencing
videos.
much. But yeah, I'm just working on lettering right now. And so I've written the word forest like 5 times, and now it looks weird. You know, it always
I know
happens.
how
I
it-
hate it. It's so stupid. But shit, what was I talking about? Yeah, game stuff. So
Game stuff. Yeah.
after like a year or so of like normal freelance, that's kind of when I decided like I do love the furry stuff. I was doing it a bit in school anyways, just on the side for some extra cash.
Mhm.
And then I was like, why don't I just do that? Because people actually like, there's the demand for my work. I think it's super fun. I'm way more in control of everything, so I can like actually you know, make cool stuff.
Yeah.
And like I don't have to listen to people as much as like, you know, when you're working for someone directly. So yeah, that's kind of when I decided to go that route.
Yeah, I see.
That was maybe a year after college or 2. Yeah, so
How many years ago? It's
I started for sure leaning hard into the furry stuff professionally 2015. So
2015.
yeah, in January of 2015 also. That's like when I started streaming. So in 2 months, that's going to be 5 years, baby.
Yeah, that's a lot. And like, did you have any like large projects except the Forest of Love, like in furry or?
Oh yeah, totally. Like in school, I had quite a few. I made a few like short animations. Nothing like drawn, or I mean, like I had some, but they failed. But I had like an After Effects project that was a music video for Caravan Palace. Not like for them. It was a song of theirs that I made an animation of. And then I did a stop motion project with like gummy bears and gummy worms. That was fun. And then you know, some other stuff like that, just a lot of school projects, and they were super fun and very difficult, and a majority of them didn't actually see completion just because there's so many things that like come
Yeah.
involved with it. On the furry side, I've started a few other like interactive projects as well as some comics and stuff, but and I've always had multiple plans for like, I want to do an art book, I want to do what's it called, like I wanted to do like a children's book that's like, it's an adult children's book, so it looks like a children's book, but the content is absolutely not for children, right?
Yeah.
So I always thought that would be fun. I currently have a t-shirt line idea that would be super fun to pursue. There's a bunch of merchandise ideas and stuff like that. I made a Dakimakura. But yeah, a lot of the earlier projects I did also like kind of failed just because I didn't have time. I outgrew the project, or the project was too ambitious at the time.
I
So those kind of end up being like the 3 main killers. Like me outgrowing it, quote unquote, means like the story was dumb or something about it was stupid, and it's not actually good. Like I thought the idea was cool in the beginning, and then as I pursued it, it's like maybe not.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I think we've all done that, right? And I'm sure
Yeah,
you've had.
sure. I think like everyone have those. I have some of those.
You got
too.
some. Yeah. Do you have some failed projects under your belt?
Yeah, I have I think 2 unfinished comics. I
Nice.
have a merch shop that I didn't fill with merch ever. I think the comic that I'm working right now, I had a project of making it like an animated thing, so you can click stuff and it moves. The text bubbles appear and all the kind of stuff.
Right.
But
but for a comic, like an animated comic?
like, yeah, maybe you've seen it in Team Fortress 2 had those, where you progress through the comic and it's like the lights blink, like small minor animations, but it really increases the immersivity of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, Neopets did that way back in the day, and I was like, that's fucking slick.
Yeah, but it's a huge amount of work, and
yeah, for sure.
Basically, my friend wanted to help me with it, so he took all the programming work, and basically everything is programming work there. We've made, I think, 5 pages, and each page took us almost like 3 days of 6-hour work of him. So we decided to put it on hold, and make something like a visual novella game.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Other characters, like a whole new story, and it's yet like an early like idea. We've just like started it a week ago.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's interesting when you get to the point where it's like you've got this main idea for a medium, but then it's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
The whole intention for that medium is cool, but it could actually be done better in a different medium. So
yeah, and much cheaper and faster.
Right. So you kind of run with that and go the other way. I think that totally works, though. It's like, I think one of the things that people in the fandom maybe take for granted is like failed projects like that, because like when we see a failed project, we kind of think like, oh man, like this project didn't work, and like we were excited to see it in the process and whatever, and so when it fails, it's just, it's more disheartening than it is like, oh, this is awesome, like this is important. Even as a failure, this was important, right? And yeah, it's funny because it's the same like mentality of the whole like people don't want to start something because they're afraid of failure. Now it's like it's a similar thing, but at this point it's like you might. Oh no, I mean I guess it's the exact same thing. It's just at a larger scale.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
I've had back in the day. I don't know if you saw. I did this like project called A Biscuit's Tale. It had like one of my earlier characters named Biscuit, and she was like the main character, and I had this little teaser like of a flash animation of her giving like a blowjob, right? And it was like pretty cool. I actually didn't even animate that. A friend animated that for me, which is weird. I totally could have. I was definitely animating back then, but I was just busy or something. So I was actually making the game part of it. So the dialogue boxes, the whatever, I did it all in Flash, and like it wasn't great, right? So but like it worked. It was definitely good enough for fat material. So I think that's the majority of what people like wanted, right? But I wanted something more. I wanted like a good story. I wanted a really good like way to capture this character that I came up with, and at the end of it, when this was one of those that I outgrew, that I realized my story writing on it was actually really garbage, and then I was like, dude, like this character doesn't deserve this story. This is lame. So that's when I just canned that project.
Writing stories is like the most difficult thing ever for me.
I think it's interesting because it's like, for me, it's mainly I'm not writing like a story like. I do less world story writing and more character story writing, right? Like that for me is a lot easier because it's like, cool, I have a character, I have a perspective, an opinion, a concept, a message. That's all the character, and then I can test that by throwing shit at them. Then so it's like super fun and super like whatever, you could just do it or not, and it's cool. But
it really only works if you have the character like really thought through, so
that's true. You got to put some thought into it. But I know a lot of other writers would prefer doing stuff like coming up with Lord of the Rings or something like that, where it's this really huge, grand thing, you know, and it's like, oh, I've got this whole world built and I've got this whole like concept, this whole government and this like thing. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. That shit's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I have a bit of that world stuff in my game, but like even that was like, woo, like holy shit. It's not even like super like, I mean, I don't want to say it's not good. It's complete, but it's not like super serious or anything. And so it's just one of those things where it's like I couldn't imagine like that being like my main joy of writing.
Yeah. Well, I think like most of the times you don't even really need that much information on the world for the story. Usually you can just tell the story without it. Like
right,
without
and
it,
it's
but,
like
yeah.
You can have the implication that there is thought, right? But you don't have to, for sure, have the whole everything spelled out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best ways to actually tell those really complicated, huge stories, because like that's not what's interesting when we first pick up anything. We're not like, wow, cool, look at this government. Like, no one gives a shit. But then, you know, you want to know it from a character's perspective. Yeah. And then as the thing zooms out and we learn more about the world, that's when it's like, dude, good shit. Good shit. So, yeah, I think that's kind of interesting and funny because I feel like a lot of, and I could be totally wrong, and I'm just speaking out of my ass here, but I know, or I say I know, whatever. I think some writers might not know that part, the immersive requirements for a piece of art in order for an audience to get into it. So they might be really excited for the world that they built, but being able to effectively tell it to, or share it rather, is kind of a different matter.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Fucking art's the best, dude. But more about those like failed projects and whatever.
Yeah.
I just think it's one of those things that's like whenever I see someone pursuing something that's just like there's no way this is gonna happen. It's good though. It's still good because it's like good because that's how you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn all this shit and it's important. And I really wish that the community in general could just be more welcoming when people are trying to pursue stuff, and then more so when they inevitably fail it. And like instead of berating it and kind of, you know, being negative towards it, welcome it, because it just means better stuff is to come.
I don't think I've seen a lot of people be really like negative about failed projects, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really have experience with like people being negative about failed stuff. No.
I guess, well, okay, what about like failed, or maybe not failed, but discontinued projects that you've done? You haven't had people like kind of message you, be like, hey, are you doing this? Like,
No.
No,
probably
what
because
the shit,
those
man?
projects sucked. And
they're
nobody
like,
cared.
You stopped working on that. Good, cool. Yeah, I guess I have a few projects that like I guess that there was potential with, so people were like excited for it, and then like for me, I look at what my game is about and like how it's all crafted together, and I'm like, this is way fucking cooler than anything else I've pursued so far. Like, chill, man, you know. But I guess it really comes down to expectations. I know one of the projects I'm talking about, I actually got donations for it because I like, you know, started like a donation drive. And like, by all means, that sucks where it's like people are thinking they're paying into something to get something. And then it doesn't work at the end, right? And like, by all means, like I've taken responsibility for that. If people want a refund, I'm more than happy to do that. But like at the end of the day, I only got like $200 from it, maybe 300, which like, to be fair, like, don't get me wrong, $300 is an amazing amount from like just people being like, this is a cool idea, here's free money. Like, I super appreciate that. But at the same time, like, I know I could do a painting and pay off all of those refunds if I wanted to. So it's like, you know, like the amount of work expected from a full game is months, years of work. For $300 to me, that's where it's like, okay, nah, there's really like, I don't have too much to like beat myself up about there. And if people were really cheated on, then I could easily refund it. It wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, I see.
And so I guess that's one situation where it's like, okay, I get it. I understand why people would be uh, more upset about that
Hmm.
sort of failed project. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I
I think
think. Hmm?
when I say people being like upset about failed projects, I guess I'm usually talking about like when something is canceled by the artist or whatever, and then people are like, "Oh man, like
Yeah,
this had
I
such
think.
potential"
I
or
think
whatever.
it's more like I'm thinking it's more like it's more related for the projects that are actually successful but have to stop at some point. Like I know I'll have to finish my comic like quite
Mhm.
soon because it's going to its to its end,
Oh
and
yeah.
I know people will be unhappy because people like it.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
That's exciting though. You're like actually you've written to an end of your comic,
Uh, yeah, pretty much. I know how it will end, and maybe I'll do some small stuff after it
like
finishes.
spin-offs. Yeah.
Yeah, like spin offs. But generally, I have a plan for it to end and not be like an endless anime manga stuff
Right, right.
for years.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Like having an end to something is it sucks because something ended. Oh no, but it's like at the same time the artist. Well, one you're set free,
Yeah.
but like by now you've learned so much from this comic that
Mm,
like you could just take whatever and run with it. And I'm sure you've only been having thousands more ideas while you've been working on this
yeah.
comic.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's super cool.
All right. Wanna go back to the questions? I have
Oh
prepared
yeah,
some
yeah, sure. Sorry,
questions.
I know we're jumping around
um,
and
I wanted to ask, like, how do you go about like your day, your routines? Like, what do you do as an artist? How do you work? How do you
yeah.
start working?
Oh, okay. Specifically as an artist, or do you mean like
Well, I mean, not
as?
really an artist, but like generally, like the artistic work is like not plumbing. Plumbing. It has its like differences. Like you can wake up and feel uninspired. Like, what do you do then?
Oh, okay. So actually, for the most part, my schedule, quote unquote, was very like just whatever happens that day, sort of thing. I'm actually pretty good about like not so much being inspired, but just getting to work.
Uh huh.
So and doing stuff like streaming is a huge help there because
Yeah.
like sometimes I'm like not feeling it at all, and then I'll just hit the stream button, and it's like, well, because I've done that, I now have
Yeah. You now have to do it.
like expectations to work, and then I just do it. And then like art's always one of those things where it's like you may not want to initially, but then once you do it, you just kind of get caught up in it, and then you're like,
Hmm.
oh right, I didn't want to draw today. Um, but yeah, so that was how I did stuff before, and it would be like, cool, I want to work now. To like, no, this month I'm gonna binge Destiny 2, and just do fucking nothing but play games, you know. And in general, it'd work out. A lot of my customers, I hate saying customers. That's like a lot of my homies, a lot of the people I work for are like really uh like cool with me taking my time on stuff, and
Hmm.
they know like I'm pretty upfront about it, that like I have no this will be done in a week or whatever. There's like none of that shit. um and it's like for the better, that way we're all inspired and like want to work on whatever we got to work on, and
Hmm.
then usually the work comes out better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all worked out, and if anything had like a lot of severe delays or whatever, then I would let people know.
Yeah.
um Wait, I say that and I probably never did, but it was never a big deal. No one ever really. If people talk to me about it, then yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. But I'm not really the kind of artist who's like really fretting over letting people
Hmm.
know every like 2 minutes that their commission's delayed or that I suck or whatever. It's like shit happens. We're all adults, we know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that was before. It was really uh, not visceral. I don't know, unreliable.
Hmm.
But these days, most recently, like the past couple weeks, I've started doing a kind of routine thing where like I'll wake up and then I will fix breakfast slash like work out for like half an hour,
Hmm.
and then I'd usually get to my day, right? And that's on the weekdays, and then on the weekends now specifically, I have to not work on anything.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, like
having
one of the biggest
weekends
like
is yeah.
yeah, one of the biggest like problems I ran into as a freelance artist is like I like working maybe too much.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't really take a whole lot of time off, except those random binges. Um, and like I don't really relax a whole lot. And I think these days I'm starting to feel the repercussions of it. So I'm like, okay, let's like consider more healthy what's it called? Like
Regime.
self-care things and
Yeah,
just being mindful of my own well-being.
yeah. Do you have like
So
a, a not not a goal, but like a vision for where you want to be in the future with all of this?
yeah, I mean, I've got a few long-term goals that would be like super like pipe dream level, like probably not going to happen, but this would be something cool to achieve sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
But my most attainable one is creating like a furry art studio, just a small one with like a few people that I like super trust
Uh-huh.
and maybe not trust is the right word, but like can depend on slash
Mm-hmm.
can work well with. Um, but yeah, that's like my most um, my closest goal. That's like an end game sort of thing. That it would be really nice to be able to what's it called? Like have a studio of several people that I can work with, and we can pursue anything from games to like books to stories to short animations and whatever, but all furry related and most likely porn related. Like I like the porn, super fun. But there's also other ideas and stories that I like to explore that aren't porn, right? So just like a nice collection of people that not only work together, but in theory live together, I think would be really neat. Because back in art school, I had art roomies and it was stupid fun,
Yeah,
stupid productive,
that's
and
really cool.
like yeah, it's just such a good way to like hang out because you guys could be like, yeah, let's just fucking draw shit. Like, let's go outside and like we all need to go outside. Let's go outside and draw shit, and then you do, and then it's fun and you share it and whatever.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
now we're hungry. Let's get pizza, and then you get fucking pizza. And yeah, I guess I totally miss that lifestyle. So that's kind of on the docket, I guess.
Yeah.
But doing so with the furry stuff, I think would work out really well because I know a lot of people who do this stuff full time that are experienced in not only just like character making, but maybe like asset production or animation or whatever. So it's like, it's like sometimes you'll have people that you're like, okay, can you make a full scene like I need a scene for a movie, like do it, and then
Uh-huh.
a lot of people would be like, maybe not, like, but then other people would be like, oh yeah, okay, I know general things about camera composition and whatever, that like, though I do a lot of character porn, I could definitely also make like a scene, like a cinematic scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those are some of the like artists that friends that I have made that it's like, okay, cool. These people would be like pretty solid to work with. They'd be reliable, and I think it would work out pretty well. And then we could just make a bunch of like different, fresh stuff for the community. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's probably my biggest, most attainable recent goal. It's not super recent. I've had the plan for like years, but
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, it all starts with the game stuff. Like once if the game does like super well to the point where I could pay other people,
uh-huh.
then that's where it's like cool, easy. Like that's the first step, and then the rest would be working with people, which is a huge solid step on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But with the right people, it'd be fine.
Yeah. And like about the game, are you planning to like monetize it? Like, what's the plan for it?
Well, the original plan for this thing is just to have a. It's like meant to build credibility for me and Vixel
Uh-huh.
as just like game developers as well as project people, right? So as I was talking about those failed projects, I don't have a whole lot of like completed ones
Uh-huh.
under my belt yet. Just because you got to get those necessary failures out of there, and it's fine. But also, I want to make sure I can also complete a project, right? So
Yeah.
this is kind of like the testing grounds of it all. It's almost been a year at this point, so I'm not absolutely not worried about like following through this game. But yeah, so it's meant to be a free thing because I want as many people to play it as possible, and it is a free thing. I say it's meant
makes
as
sense.
if I changed. Damn it! I just got a thing, which is cool, but a loud notification. But yeah, there is a great that threw me off. Where was it? Damn, someone pledging to me. Why would you do that and throw off my groove? Oh yeah, it being monetized or whatever. So it's all through Patreon. But we will be offering it on Steam, like for people to buy, just to support that way if they want to. Because I have had a lot of people who are like, I don't want to pledge to a Patreon, but I do want to like throw money at you. How do I do it?
Does
So
Stream allow like porn games? I thought they were like
yeah.
against that.
No, I think before they probably were, but Steam has recently, as of like I think last year, started to have porn games on there. So there's actually quite a bit.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I'm super glad because it starts there, and then soon it'll be more and more like accepted as a medium, or I guess as content.
Yeah, that would be really cool because like the stigma of drawing porn is
yeah
it's weird.
Are you like open about it with any of like people in your real life?
It's like my parents don't know that I draw porn, but I think they guess because I don't really talk or show anything that I do. So yeah, they might guess. My friends know. My wife obviously knows. She sometimes helps me with stuff like, you should do it this way. No, this looks ugly.
Right.
Like this. Yeah. Yeah, my friends know, and like lately when I meet new people and if they ask me what I do, I don't hide it because like, yeah, that's what I do. If you want to know, I'm open about it.
I do that sometimes where I'm like, okay, do you want me to tell you what I tell like everyone, or do you want to know what I actually do? And then that kind of like sets it up already, which also makes it like, oh, that's interesting. I'm not going to turn that down. But at the same time, it's like the ball's in their court. So
yeah, that's a good phrasing. I'll have to use that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's good. I think the furry stuff is one of those that's like it could eat at you like for a while if you actually don't tell people. It's not like it depends. Like furry could just be like a close thing for you, and it's not like a part of your life really. It's just like maybe a fetish that you are ashamed of or whatever, right? But then for us, when it's also our job and our like our life literally, that's when it's like, man, I don't like lying to people all the time.
Yeah.
So
that really messes up with the brain.
Yeah. So it's really nice to be able to just like be open about it and be like, I fucking draw porn, dude. And yeah, I've always been welcomed with like pretty.
Yeah, and people
are pretty excited with it.
Yeah, people are really excited about it. I've been encountering this too all the time. People are like, are you serious? Yeah. Oh, can you show me? Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah. Like, what? Porn? Are you serious? Yeah. I think it's cool because like a lot of the kind of day-to-day mundaneness of life is just like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, I'm an accountant. Like, oh, okay, cool. You work with Excel? Yup, I work with Excel. Like, oh, me too. Well, but then when it's like, I draw porn. Like, what? And then. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. All right. I think this is a good, like, I fucking suck at English. This is a good finish for it, I think. how does it
What?
finish, or is it
You're
a good
already done?
end, or what?
Well, how long have we been going? I don't even know.
15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like just getting started drawing wise, so I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna keep
When
going forever, dude. Fuck. But you know, posting an 8-hour video on YouTube, I'm sure that'll work out really well.
no, I don't think like more than an hour will be a bad idea.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you want to close it up, totally cool with that. I'll probably keep drawing if you want to join me.
I've been drawing for like 8 hours today, I think.
Oh, damn. Oh,
I'll
right.
go
You've
sleep.
been...
It's like almost midnight here.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for doing this. It's really cool.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you. See you later.
Do you have like a cool like
Mhm.
saying or anything when you sign off? Like,
No, not really. I'm doing it the second time. The first time I had a lot of difficult issues. Technical issues.
there you go.
Yeah. I like it was difficult. Yeah.
You got to come up with like a whole jingle and like this stuff, you know, where it's like, thanks for Ratcha me, guys, right? Because you're
like, comment, and subscribe.
yeah,
Like how they do it nowadays. Yeah, no, I wasn't really thinking of doing this, like, you know, those large podcasts that do it for a living. It was more like a fun project, so it's not too formal or just
you're right. I feel
talking with people. I
Gotcha.
would
Cool.
probably even edit this, just make some edits to make less noise and publish it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to make a whole project out of it.
Yeah,
Got shit to do.
It's just
Cool.
Small fun thing.
Sounds good, dude.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, yeah.